right now. Alrighty. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. Could not be more excited to expand and connect and learn like we do every time we come to the practice. And it's a day of gratitude. So I greatly appreciate the opportunity to show how much I am grateful, thankful, appreciative, overwhelmed with love for our community. And we're going to start sitting up in a meditation in a way that just lets us feel sort of regal in our own experience, tall and supported, letting the arms just sort of rest against the thighs, letting the breath kind of push against the boundaries. And maybe the most challenging, letting the eyes close sweetly inward to take that very powerful, determined moment for yourself to fall in love again. As we step into this practice, our adoration for all of the body's pieces and parts will unfold. Our ability to find the deep appreciation for the ways that we articulate through the joints, through the muscles, through the limbs, the spine, the organs, the tissues. All of this vehicle of the body in its incredible genius showing up to give us the opportunity to travel, to explore, to journey inward to the terrain of our spirit, the landscape of our soul. That truly is the place where we can all find a little more gratitude, a little more adoration and awe, that perhaps even pulls us out of that which is so exciting or distracting or consuming in the outer world. That reminds us that anything that outside of us telling us that we are less than or lacking, we need something else to enrich our experience of this life. It's all coming from a place that pulls us away from our sovereign center of true, authentic expression in this world. Just placing a hand to your heart and to your belly, let the touch soften your edges. Help you to remember again the dexterity, the flexibility, the agility, the dynamism of your own body that is alive in the pulse of your heart, your blood, your breath, and in the pulse of all of your organs on their own without being prompted, that will soon turn into a pulse of all of our body parts moving in perfect harmony together. And as you lay your hands in that healing way, the way that only you can do, lean back just a little into the remembrance of your humanity. Not in the remembrance of being small or limited as a human. Quite the opposite. When we really drop into our gratitude, the understanding of how amazing we truly are in all of our unique corners and our jagged edges, we really embrace full acceptance of our isness, the I am aspect of now, of always. We remember that our humanity is in fact quite divine, quite eternal, quite perfect at its essence. And in this moment of reclamation, of really calling in the gratitude, calling in the devotion, the love affair with yourself. There's a sweetness that perhaps gets pushed to the surface from your courage and your willingness to stand in your power, that reveals how innocent and pure you really are. And in that innocence, that childlike play and wonder, lives the mystery of it all. You perhaps can take a moment to gaze into the eyes of yourself through the mirror today, or find a loved one as you sit across the dinner table and look deep into their heart space. Through their eyes, you can see into the essence of their soul, and reflected back will be the essence of you, the sameness, the oneness that reminds us of our humanity that is so needed right now in this world, that will remind us of the divinity that permeates all things beneath that which is inorganic, around and through the container inside of which all of our explorations of this life will be unfolding. When we remember the essence of it all, we call in the magic of the universe to guide us, to fall in love every day, to heal from the inside as we reclaim all of our parts and pieces. We reclaim our humanity and stand in our divinity. There is something so powerful in the gratitude I hold of being some aspect of an anchor, a magnet, a commitment of this wellspring to which you make your own journey, a pilgrimage towards your own spirit. It has nothing to do with me, your journey, and your pathway to purpose in this life, but to hold the space together. We all have the opportunity to keep growing. We may crash into each other, and we may find ourselves separated sometime down the line. But in this moment, we reclaim our humanity. And I hope that the ripple effect of this will help you to reclaim it again tomorrow, to remember it again next week, to embody it again through the solstice, soaring into the next year and so far beyond, that we never lose sight of the anchor that is our own magnetic core. We never disconnect from the truth of our true essence. From a joyous expression of now, of excitement, let your arms reach and open and stretch, just yawning the body and starting to feel what edges can you connect with this morning. How can you reach and expand into a little bit more of you right now? And then once more, fold your palms, let them float towards the heart, the very center of you as you draw your chin towards your sternum. And in a very deeply reverential way, please bow. And for all of its dexterity and agility and strength, body, let us just deeply revere the vehicle, the one transport that we have this lifetime. And let us honor that as we move together in our practice. Thank you for staying human, for choosing you, and for doing so willingly inside of our tribe. It is a very potent and powerful circle of our love that allows us to be fully ourselves and reflect the magic, the mystery in each other as we grow and play and explore in this beautiful space together. Thank you for all of you being here, for all of you showing up, even the shadowy sides, even the darker aspects. We love you all. Thank you so for your beautiful energy to yourself. And as you rise and stretch again, know that you're bringing something so beautiful to our community. Push forward off of your seat, come into your tabletop position. And in a position that we come to so often, a space that you've been to before, allow yourself to really explore the foundation beneath you, hands underneath your shoulders, the knees slightly in front of the hips behind your knees. And then just explore the ways that the edges of your body can move and articulate and stretch and pulse and pump. Really give yourself the chance to push into the edges, into the boundaries, while you bow into yourself, that moment where you take an internal look, you bring the sternum and the heart, the chin together, you scoop the tailbone under, and there's a deep awakening inside the belly. And then let that push right and left as a way to broaden the ribs, the side bodies, the lateral experience of now, the side to side moment of all that is. The bow turns into a slow opening in a bow. The feet work, the hips rise as you open and lift the tail and stretch out through your crown. Slide the right arm out in front of you, and on the fingertips, let it grip into the floor as you tip your ear to the left. Pump and open your ribs wide to the right, and then move back and forth inside the body, lubricating in the joints. So grateful for the stable hips, the steady pelvis. And then stretch and open through the mobility and the breath of the rib cage, the sides, the tickle spots of your underarms. Slide the hand to the left corner. Keep reaching from the back of your heart, from behind you, so that as that right hand angles over to the left side, you can really start to feel that crossing midline relationship. Right crosses to left, and the center begins to reveal itself a little bit more. The pulse that we work through in this practice, the pump, the root, and the rise, is a constant. We transition from one point to the next, and then we lubricate inside of it. We become more connected, and as we pump back and forth, the pulse allows the pose, the shape, the now, to become more potent, more true, more real. Slide the hand behind the back of your head. The right hand takes the skull, and take that bow again where you scoop the belly up, draw the chin and the head down, and then pump up the back of your heart, and then open it up again, hips high, head back, and pulse for 3 more. Keeping your hand where it is at the back of your skull, and maybe start to get lighter on your left hand, fingertips. Keeping the right hand in ecstasy as you press the head back and you lift the ribs high, start to feel less weight on the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, knowing that all of these pieces and parts have their role, but you never want to overwhelm. Slide the right hand back underneath your shoulder dome and lower the hand down to spring where the full arm is engaged and activated, and then slide the left just straight out in front of you to find balance. Begin your pulse back to the earthen roots and forward to the sky, holding your potent potential. And as you slide the left hand to a diagonal, really feel the reach, give you more sense of presence, more curiosity, more to explore in the now. And really allow the pulse back and forth, not to collapse you into just autopilot, but to give you that sense of exploration and discovery as each round, each pulse of life unfolds another layer, unfolds another truth, another reality, opening up through the edges. Find the breath as you sweep the hands to the back of your head. The inhale floats your ribs up, and you can rise a little higher, arcing over to the right, but lifting out of your joints, not putting too much weight to create a martyr out of any aspect of your body, but instead really feeling the expansion, the lightness, and the particularities, the specificities that each part of your body plays. The fingers gripping around the skull or into the earth give rise to tone and energy coming back into your heart. Keep lifting the ribs, lightening out of the bottom arm, and then slowly coming back. Place your left dome hand, tone through the arm, and then lower the palm completely to the floor into your all fours. Take one more bow just as a way to remember we're only getting started. When you bow to all that is inside of you know that you can go a little bit further. Push your hips high, stretch out from the belly, And as you keep that forward lengthening through the neck and crown, lift your hips up high into what we call a crouching cat position. But in this sort of aspect of being animalistic, primal, I want you to just breathe deep inside your body, even moan a little bit, groan and growl, and allow the space, the sound, the awakening to really inform against the bones the space that's inside of you. Take a big breath together. Open your mouth and just feel the sound resonating against your bones. And then do that again, big, full breath, and resonate, vibrate into your skeleton as you exhale. And feel that first and foremost, before you're a cat or a crow or a dog or a lotus, before any of that, you are human. And as you push into the arms and lift high through your hips, feel the exploration into your humanity become more clear, more real, more true in this moment. Step or hop your feet apart, wide, and then walk your hands back to allow a fold over the legs, a soft bend in the knees, a release through the head, and really feel the breath expanding into the thighs as you just let yourself drape over the legs. Water falling out of your pelvis, out of your spine, and shake out the head and the neck. Shake out the shoulder blades. Feel that the sides of the ribs, the sides of the bodies are like an accordion, and they just open wide as you hang. Walk over to the right. Bring your fingertips towards the right foot. And push your left hip back, and then really small pulses. Just play between the ends of you, the hips back, head forward, stretching and elongating the left side of your spine, allowing the legs and the hips to be strong in the foundation. And walk your hands over to the left. Keep them a little bit forward of your toes so that there's a gentle reach. Tip the ear left and feel the whole of your right side begin to unfurl as if it hasn't been awakened just yet. There's still so much life to be explored in this day, so much family, so many dynamics back and forth as you pulse into this now moment. You don't want to miss this space of taking care of yourself here before you start to tend to so many others and other energies and other responsibilities. Come back through center. And as you stay heavy through your trunk, bring your hands to the sides of your head again. The deep bend in the knees. And I want you to allow the chin to stay scooped into the sternum, into the throat, and start to lift from your belly button. Fortify the deep central strength as you round yourself to vertical. Pull your spine up slowly. That's the way, one vertebra at a time. So as you rise all the way up, the head will be the very last thing to open, to lift, and to perch itself right on top, and then arc it up and over, side to side, still cradling the back of your head, still holding that sense of power as you lay into yourself and just play the edges up and over, up and over. Keep your toe tips down and your hips rooted back. And then take your arms out in front of you with the palms facing up to the sky and just feel that forward reach from your shoulders. Lean back a little bit. And with your palms facing up, I want you to softly bend the elbows, softly bend the wrists and every finger knuckle, and feel like two cosmic hands are placing dense, potent love right into the center of your palms. And feel how from your heart space, as the palms are straight out from your heart, you're offering up gratitude and thanks and deep appreciation for the power that you hold. And then there is just an overflowing of divine cosmic love pouring into your hands. And be willing to receive this. As you offer out the thanks, you share, you stretch, you reach. And as you receive the love, you draw in. Pull your hands together one more time at the heart and allow that connection to be sincere, to be potent, to be now. Full breath, inhale, open the hands into a low globe, the one that holds so much potent energy and space, and then push down through the arms and lift your central channel higher, taller, longer, and step in towards hip distance. A nice steady foundation, rooting into the legs, rooting into the hips behind you, And then start to find a little root and rise. Standing tall through your heart, feel the up and down pulse. Start to become more familiar with this as you stoking your own motor, you awakening your own juices and allowing that divinity, that human spark of life to become more true, more real. Start to push and pull that energy up into your arms into a full victorious reach. V-vector up and out in this wide open stretch. Really feel yourself open in such gratitude. Again, to offer out that appreciation, to receive in so much love, and then sway, arcing right, arcing left. Start to push your arms forward, begin to hinge from the groin line, reaching your butt back as you begin to descend towards the earth again. But keep that sense of openness. So now our forward bend comes with a long spine, a long belly. You can place the hands to a block or a support, but with the feet a little more narrow now and the hands a little higher, the chest further, go ahead and bend and straighten through your legs, keeping just that little hollow in the pit of the knee as the reminder of all the weight that you carry throughout your day. Bending and extending through the backs of your legs and hamstrings, you're recruiting the real power, the real strength that lives in your foundation. Take 3 more. Bend and extend up through the inseams, up through the sitting bones. And as you start to activate so much power and strength in the legs, walk yourself back out again to crouching cat, but don't lose the foundation of you. Don't lose the remembrance of your own human experience, but start to pull yourself forward, taking weight through the arms, through the legs, a little more animal-like. And start primally moving, crawling, even growling if you choose. Take the right hand forward and then the left foot. And then the left hand forward, and pull forward as you step the right foot. Take a couple crawling steps forward in your crouching dynamic pose and then crawl backward. Try to stay equally engaged up the arms, up the body, into the center. Crawl back, staying proportionally open, wide, and long. Crawl forward and just give yourself that chance to take another 5 or 10 breaths before you return to the center of your space. Coming back, cueing yourself right into the middle as you hold equally the weight between your arms, your legs, but most importantly, the heart. And then pivot on your toe tips. Left ear tilts to the left, knees tilt to the right. And you open and yawn the right side of your body. Come onto right hand, fingertips, dome, and pulse back and forth. Rooting and rising again, helping to launch up and over that left arm. Stay light as you stay lifted in your rib cage, and then place the left foot back to the floor as you lower your left knee, connect all the way down into a humble cat, where the left knee is supporting you, the right foot stepping out, and the right hand light onto fingertips. Turn for a moment to the floor, bow to remember yourself. Bring your right hand to your left rib cage. And as you keep that sense of lift, the ribs moving backward, start to turn and spiral from the low belly. Open your heart to the right. Good. The bottom ribs turn, and you can start to lay back into yourself. The left foot may kickstand a little wider off your space. Then use that to sit back towards as you open your right leg to the ceiling. Open it out to the side. Now bring your right hand and knee together and push those two in a really dynamic way that allows you to pulse back and forth again. Root your hips behind you, stretch out through your crown. And the practice is to think light, to think gratitude, to think thoughts that will help you to not be so heavy. So the push, the hand and the knee together, actually help you to come onto left fingertips. Maybe even help you to push so far back into your legs that the left hand can float off the floor. Maybe it comes down and up. Maybe you float, maybe you fall. Yeah, but all of those are parts of the human experience, is to explore something and to be so embracing of your curious aspects, your spirit, that you keep trying something new. Come back through tabletop position and then into crouching cat as a way to just sort of palate cleanse and clear the slate from where you are right here. Pulse back and forth into your own center or from your own center. From that crouching cat position, rise and root. Really give yourself that sense of dynamism inside of this shape. The shape really looks externally like a form in which you're holding the muscles of your arms and stretching the backs of your legs. But in fact, the stability of your hands and feet, the four limbs, are giving you the exploration of the center, the middle core of you. Start to open up the left side of your spine, right ear low, knees to the left, hips to the right. Come on to left fingers. And you start to see that in the dynamic transitions from point A to B, from pose to pose, the pulse steadily continues. And that just keeps peeling back layers and layers of anything inorganic to help you remember your true nature, your essence. Lean your heart back away from the left hand. Let your head tilt back. And as you keep rising through the ribs, step your right foot down and then the knee into that humble cat position. You use the earth under you to help rise and launch up and over the right arm. And then dig and drag that left foot into the floor. Really tone up through the back of the leg. As you lift the left foot up, bring your left hand to the left knee. Push the two together. Lean back, open the belly and throat, and then start to narrow the knee down a little more so you're not closing the roots. Push the thighs apart to open the base, and then really use that right foot. Sit back, tone the glutes and hamstrings. Lean your ears back and see if you can come onto right hand fingertips. And maybe you feel light thoughts and you lift the right hand up off the earth. So again, you're trying to find what we call a little bit of a bowstring gauge. How can we use the bow, the tensegrity of the body, to actually lift off more balance points? So you don't need your hands. You don't even need your right foot. You can just start to levitate. That's all part of the process, is just getting so strong in our remembrance of who we really are, not just dense physical flesh and bone, but space, energy, and light more than anything. Feel that lightness as you lay back and then reach forward to touch down again. Left hand, floor, left foot, left knee. Take a bow. Pull the belly in strong. Waistline hugs against the spine. Scoop into your center, only as a way to fortify for the next transition of what's to come. Open up without losing that strength. Hips high. Reach through the crown as the heart stays full. And rolling over your hero feet, come into crouch cat. Stretch from the inside, strength. Open through the belly. Open through the ribs. Just bicycle pedal here into the floor. Really use the toe tips. Use the feet and the knees. You can do the same pedaling with both feet, or you can dig one and drag the other. But really feel how that ripples through the whole of you. That's such a human experience, is when we create, when the butterfly flaps its wings, it creates a ripple effect through the whole body. That is real in our 3D. When we adjust the pinky toe, our hips will open up. When we widen through our shoulder girdles, our breath will change. So just feel the ripple of your bicycle pedaling come out through the crown of the head, and then hop wide again. Bring your feet apart. Slowly, now only halfway back, come onto fingertips, and then keep sitting your butt behind and stretch your heart nice forward and long. Head, butt back, and then head forward. Bend and extend a few more. And this time with your toe tips down, stretching and lengthening the legs. See if as you extend your cheeks to the ceiling, you can begin to hover your heels, a teeny little hover, allowing you to press into the gas pedal of your paws, your feet, and get a little more tone and length through the backs of your hamstrings. Now, once we have the legs turned on, we can start to turn them into our branches. Bring your fingertips dome to springs. Let your arms become your roots and take a few hops. Maybe you just hop wide or narrow. Maybe you hop right and left, or maybe you take a few hops straddling the legs apart, pushing the thighs wide in midair, allowing you to just glimpse that sense of lightness, of levity, of suspension, and truly letting yourself surrender to the fact that there is a divine force around you. your field, your bubble, your matrix that will hold you when you're trusting the power of your own heart. And that has nothing to do with muscle, only the sense of relationship to the humanity and the divinity at once. Good. Pause. Hop your feet wide. Walk your hands to your knees. So in this recovery pose, we call it a sense of connection to the breath and to the center. We allow ourselves to realign. Come into the breath. Just take a very gentle twist and turn. Let your left shoulder twist to the right. And then your right shoulder turn to the left. And as you go back and forth, think about that which you're really churning and awakening. Turn the belly inside of the trunk. Keep your hands on your knees and turn inside the deep waistline. Turn in the core of the body so that you're activating a little more movement and sensation around the gut. Now, turn the right shoulder forward. You can keep your feet nice and wide. Bring your left hand, reach it out in front of you and stretch the butt back. Reach the left arm. Take the hand behind the head. As you have the left hand behind your head, lower down to your right elbow on that right knee and add your pulse again, rooting and arcing high, sitting back and launching over. And just give yourself a chance to really stay grounded while you open up a little bit stronger and longer through your belly, through your trunk. One more pulse here, lean back. See if you can find so much fullness in the heart. Right hand holds the skull and then float up to vertical. Head comes last. Bow, rise up and bow. And in between sides with a deep bend in the knees, start to pulse yourself open to the sky. Bend and rise. You root and reach and feel your heart start to shine more up to the ceiling. Your eyes lift more to the sky above you and just lay back into your fullness. If you feel any compression in your low back, often that takes us away from our capacity and our potential. Press your toes more, sit into your hips more. Reach your arms forward as you take 2 more breaths, laying into your back bend. And with all this opening you create in the front of your body, hinge forward again, bring your hands on your knees, recovery. Toe tips down, seal your energy to the earth, and then twist your left shoulder forward. As you twist and turn, remember it's the belly that rotates deep inside the core. Take the right hand to ecstasy and then lower your left elbow to the knee. And instead of dropping into that left shoulder, the left elbow pushes against the left knee and helps you rise and launch over your left shoulder, your left ribs. Stretching the elbow to the left diagonal, lean back to yourself. Yeah, keep the feet parallel, the knees straight ahead. That's the way, Mom. So you're just really focusing on length from the right groin through the elbow. Beautiful. Take 3 more pulses. Watching as you grow and stretch out of your own foundation just a little bit further. And then keep reaching, hand behind the head, and slow motion, rise to vertical. At the height of it, right, left, arc yourself open a little further. And then I want you to push from behind the heart, the arms out in front of you. Keep the eyes to the horizon and step in, step in. Feel that glorious reach inside of you, and then get light. Hop wide, hop narrow. Hop wide, hop narrow. Hop wide and in and out and in, and find that sense of play, of bounce. And you can turn it into a little dance, a little cartwheel, or little jumping jacks, little twists, little turns. You can run in place really fast, or you can just sway your arms like a tree in the wind. Just take about 5 more breaths, getting yourself a little bit light, a little bit free, letting go of any heaviness that might still come at the dinner table later today, and trust that you can laugh it off. And above all else, hands to the knees. You don't always have to be right, but you do have the chance to be light. No matter what conversations arise, no matter what challenges you meet, remember that density only takes you away from your true essence. It's the space and the light we're looking for. That allows us to embody our true divine humanity. 5 more handstands. So if you don't want to hop, just bring your fingers down, slide them forward, and rock into the arms. If you're feeling light, push, hop, fly, maybe balance. But think about taking some of those little pulses just as a way to remember who you are, what you're capable of, how you're reaching just a little bit further into yourself, your personal wellspring, so that you can expand a little bit further out, creating the bubble of you, the powerful field of your energy that no one can penetrate. Back to crouching cat. Take your breath inside of the pose. Make sure you remember your humanity first. When we take on these aspects of animals or other earthen creatures, it's easy to forget that the ability to even shapeshift like that is part of our divine essence. So always bow to that truth inside of you first, and then explore. Tilt your head to the left, knees to the right. Keep rising in the heart as you lower your left hip down. And then cross your right ankle over your left knee. Give your arm a little cradle around the outer knee and thigh. Tilt to the left. And just pull the thigh bone into yourself and feel that relationship towards the center. And then bow. Scoop the belly in. Chin and tail under just enough to remember the power. Then open up your hips and lean your head back again. Start to look more to the front of your space. Just for a second, lean whole body forward and slide your left butt back even further behind you. Now take the right hand to your right foot. See if you can start to reach from the core of your hips. As the foot rises, hips go back, and then play with how long can you push, stoking your own motor from the inside of the hips, reach out through the arm, and then again, think light thoughts. Left hand down, push like a gas pedal through the right foot, maybe left hand hovers. And just feel that reach. You're still arcing left, but pushing out through the right leg. And I just love to spiral. And as I'm floating around that hips, kind of move a little side to side. We're going to take this a little bit deeper, and you can stay right here or just take a little exit anytime you feel the need to pause. Bring the left hand back down, fully connect. Step the right foot behind the left so you're still a little more open to the sky, and then reach your right arm to the front of your space. Use that to really arc the right side high and then ecstasy. You can stay right here and just pulse or step your left foot to meet the right foot into what we call wilder thing, a turning, twisting posture that allows a back bend to unfold from one arm bearing the weight in both of your legs. Keep arcing to the left and let the deepest, lowest belly spiral open to the sky. 2 more breaths. Now to come out of this, turn your knees to the left, cross the right ankle over the left knee first, and then come all the way through to lower your knees down into what we call falcon. So it's a shorter posture like pigeon pose. Traditionally, your back knee is pushing against your forward ankle. And then come on to your elbows. And against or between the transitions or inside of each shape, reconnect to that pulse again. And the reminder that all these shapes allow you to first and foremost explore your humanity and then create more expression from that divine essence. So in Falcon, the knee is on the floor and the foot is crossing to the left. So more like figure 4, Mom. That's more like ready cat. There it is. There you go. And you don't have to come onto your forearms, but if you do, make sure your belly stretches really long. And then wag your tail side to side. Feel how that gives a nice deep release through the belly and psoas. And all we're doing is thinking light thoughts here, finding that essence that can one day help us fly. Come back onto your hands. And then you have a couple ways of playing here. Just push your butt back and then lift your back knee. That's one way to lift the balance point. So you're getting lighter and lighter. Your right knee will stay on the floor. If you still feel good here, really squeeze that left heel towards your bum. Make your hamstring active. Sit way back. And then maybe your right hand can float. Imagine a table in front of you pressing into that table. Your heart floats so high. Maybe, just maybe, whoo, superhero pose, left arm can start to float. And all you have is that bottom leg supporting you. Yeah, Paris. And maybe you fall, but maybe you fly. But how will you know unless you try? And if you fall, that's part of your humanity, accepting and embracing yourself for all of your, quote, faults. Knowing that there's never failure, there's just learning. Come back to crouching cat. The first time when we approach a new adventure, or we try a new pose, or we step into a new realm, it's scary, it's unknown. We have no idea what to expect. And so we come with all of our neuroses, all of our fears, all of our anticipations. But it's part of our process. Twist the knees to the left, right ear low. Rise up those ribs as you touch the right hip down. And you cross your left ankle. You cradle around the knee. And you start to see this is familiar territory. You've been here before. Arc right. Lean a little forward. Lift and slide your right butt back a touch. And then take that left arm all the way overhead. Really feeling it stretch out from the groin. And ecstasy, laying into yourself. And as you open up, really feel the butt stay back. Keep the head back as you reach again for your left foot. And then narrow the knee into your left arm as you lift the foot up. Slowly push the leg towards extension, towards straight. And as the leg straightens, you get lighter off that bottom arm. And really think about the gas pedal of that left foot pushing into the hand as a way to widen your heart, your collarbones left. And maybe that right arm floats. Now, if you can't straighten your leg, so Mom, you're sitting on the right hip.
Oh, I'm still down.
There you go. And then you hold the bottom of the foot. Yeah, there it is. And arc to the right so that you can lift maybe that right hand. The right arm can reach, and you're really broadening into this now space, into the moment of where your heart can shine the best. Right hand back down. Left foot steps behind you, and then cradle the hand behind your skull, lay back. And you can just work here, arc right, but spin and open to the sky. If you feel strong, step onto that right foot and work your balance. Twist, arcing to the right, slowly twisting open into your back bend. Feel the angle of your left elbow, give you a nice deep stretch through the belly, and don't forget to lubricate. Be dynamic as you pulse in this space. Good, root and rise. And then the knees will turn to the right first. Left ankle cross on top before you pivot forward and down to your knees in falcon. So go like figure four, yep. Really rise the ribs as you twist, nice. Coming down your left ankle on top of the right knee and elbows if you choose, or hands to the earth. Stay long. Pulse a little back and forth. That root and rise is a reminder of how dynamic you really are. And then you can sway side to side, really exploring into the moment of that which is yet to be discovered. So much living just beneath the surface. As we peel the layers back away from the density, it reveals more light, more space. And then how do you think those thoughts to even believe that you can fly one day? Just floating all of your points off the earth. Start with one. Lift your right leg up. So with your left ankle in front, knee a little bit on a diagonal, you can really sit your butt back, and then you don't need the right leg. You can just lift it, knee down, butt high.
And then the left arm can reach forward, sit back a lot, and maybe the right arm. And if you can get some hang time, try to get more parallel with your trunk. The more vertical you get, it's a little easier. That's fine. But see if you can imagine how Superman flies, literally perpendicular, parallel to the earth. Flying horizontally, looking down over the planet, but still floating, held by the back body. Good. Once you touch down, we'll take last crouching cat. Last little palate cleanser. And if there's a little bicycle pedal or a hop or a dance that you want to finish with, take a time. You could do a couple more handstands. But just think about how big the heart can get. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. We have not yet met the glass ceiling of our own radiant center. So keep pushing from inside through the density to remember the essence of you. And then pivot your knees one way, the opposite hip to the earth. Slide onto your back, slow motion, transitioning with your connection first and foremost to your center. As you take that time to spiral all the way open onto your back, bring your feet to the earth under your knees. And bring your hands to the backs of your legs, the bottoms of your glutes, and feel how there's some density there. Let your fingers, like teeth of a comb, push into the many layers of tissues in your glutes, and then start to draw them upward, literally combing out any tangles as you mound the power of your glutes like a little pillow for your tailbone. You literally pull your flesh, your buttocks, up and in towards your sacrum. And then reach your arms up to the ceiling and tilt your knees right and your arms left. And tilt your knees left and your arms right. And just do a few little spirals and twists, kind of corkscrewing from your deep center, allowing a little more heat, a little more fire, even in these last moments of quiet. And then slowly coming back to center, drag your feet into the air and hold your knees. Fingers press into the shins. Arms are long as you press the heart and the head back in space. And really, this is the last moment to tie up this practice with the bow of your choosing. Anything that's calling you, any aspect of your spirit, your heart, your body that wants to be expressed, this is the now time. And when you respond to those little messages, the body's signaling, that's a gratitude practice. That's a moment where as you give thanks for what your body can do, the body will only refer back to you more love, more power, more strength. Then the real practice is to come into a still point with your curves still intact, the center of the body still open and dynamic with its pulse. Let the arms and the legs extend and widen out from the center. Heavy through the edges, soft through the eyes. So steady through your breath. Sometimes we forget the magnitude of our choices, especially when it takes us away from someone else's idea of what we should be doing, from the pressures of what our day might call upon us. Please don't forget the impact that you've just created in your own life, the ripple that will go on through infinity, simply through the moans and the groans of awakening inside this primal body, through the layers of density in this 3D realm that often make us forget who we really are. And please, as you close your eyes and turn to the heart itself, remember the magnitude of this now moment that causes us to really draw upon the essence of divinity that is itself our own humanity embodied. There's a gift for you today. It will keep on giving. It's the love of you, for you, by you. When you give thanks for the way that you are exactly now, there is only more love to come. An ever unfolding lotus flower, petal by petal, layer by layer, revealing beauty, harmony, and grace. That is the essence of your heart, your spirit, and it is an unbelievable honor to be a witness to the brightness of each of your hearts and souls. Thank you for witnessing mine, for being willing to stoke the motor of your own greatness. This is just the beginning. I hope you have an amazing holiday, an amazing day. And we've got so much more to come through the solstice and launching into the new year. So stick around, knowing that the first time you choose, and every single time from then on, to step into your own greatness, you will be surrounded by those who see you for who you really are. I bow to that, that essence, that truest nature of your divine self. Thank you, thank you, thank you for 4 years and for many more to come. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving and all the rest. I love you. So much love. Namaste.